Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to a new stream. Let's quickly continue where we left off on Monday. I kind of had to leave quite abruptly. I'm sorry for that, but I wasn't really. It was a little bit of a bad planned stream, so that's the reason why I suddenly have had to go. So today is it's better planned, so we can stream for at least an hour. I think 2 hours maybe. Depends on how good everything goes. I have a bit of a cold, so we'll see how that goes. Not sure if what I'm doing now, if I like that. I'm currently sort of shading the sketch. I think I'm gonna work with a little layer here just to life a little bit easier. Let's go with this. That's quite dark actually. Let's go with that. Dark enough. Something like this. So yeah, Monday was a bit of a unexpected. Well, at first I thought I'm not gonna stream, and then I thought, hey, I'm gonna stream, but it was already very late. So I didn't have that much room in my schedule anymore. But in the end, it happened, and it sort of worked out okay-ish. So yeah, there's that. We're not gonna go too much into shading this a little bit. Not sure whether I'm just gonna paint color on these, or if I'm going to go in and throw on some textures. Probably textures. I really like that approach. So I don't see why I shouldn't do that. Same I usually do that. So this is sort of a real quick really quick. I think we need some highlight on the ship though. Can actually merge these two now. So yeah, the top of the ship definitely has some lighter areas. But that's something to keep in mind for later. I'm keeping it like this for now. All right, that's that. And now the bottom one, which is interesting. I think it has potential to be a really nice painting, but we'll see how far we can take it. reminds me of a bit of a scene that Feng Zhu drew. I think it's years and years ago. I used to watch. Oh, I still watch all of his videos. Had this video of I think it was kind of Star Wars-y themed. Also a vehicle rolling through the street, so sort of a spaceship thing. So yeah, are in a bit of a problem is there that we sort of must have the exact same painting there, which is not necessarily a good thing. Still not sure if I'm gonna keep this layer with the shading. I kind of just want to do it as a little bit of a practice, because I might use it more in the future. But just I kind of want to use it now as a little bit of a practice run, so to say. It gives us a bit of an idea how we want the values to be like. Sort of a bit of a value check. I think I want the street thingy quite bright. Maybe sort of bright colors. So that's a nice contrast with the ship. I want some nice highlights on the crowd as well. And the thing in the background can be a little bit darker. The ship probably can be a little bit darker as well. I think the foreground may be a little bit too dark. It depends what the settings on your monitor are, or cross settings. That's definitely something I need to get fixed. Oh, I actually just need new monitors, but it's gonna happen someday, hopefully. And then we can sort of be a little bit then we know for sure whether the contrast is right or not. It's properly calibrated. This one is a little bit rough. They all are. I'm not sure. I kind of like the. I want a sort of a bright background compared to this ship, but I'm not sure if I want it to be this low. Gonna darken this up again. I think I want it to be more like here, like that. It's a bit of a mess, but that's okay. Bad. Fix that. Because it's sort of a. It may even be a temporary layer. Depends on how well the textures work with the stuff that's already there. Alright, so now we have sort of three. I need a little bit to do this one. Go. Weird lines here. This is sort of the should be the belly of the ship. Probably should have drawn that a little bit better. You see, it's very rough. I haven't refined the line drawing at all. And I think that's okay. Going to open the folder with textures and stuff. I can actually find it. I still want to expand it. I made a mistake. I textured these when I did the when I sort of did the rough sketches, and I probably should have kept the texture and saved it to my textures folder. I didn't really like this for some reason. Sure if it's gonna work. I like it for this area here. I think probably gonna some filter on it, some blur. Blur. That's probably just enough to sort of get rid of the picture. And remember, it's there to bring color. I'm gonna throw a couple of these on top of each other probably. Soft light may be good. A little bit dull in terms of color. I like this little bug. I said before. Go. I think it has a nice color for the ship itself. Second. To get rid of a little bit of this thing. I really like the color at the bottom now. Not really at the top. It's too bright now. I'm gonna play around with textures for a while, so this could be kind of cool for the middle one or the top one. I need something for these for the sort of the city in the background. I might add some lights to that. So that picture is quite Going out. Coral is nice, but the picture is not so nice. I have better coral pictures. I want to use coral. Anything. I do, so I'm gonna open a little coral picture. I kind of want to use something with this cathedral. Not sure where. Either in the trees, so sort of integrated pillars, or here. Or I think this might come in handy somehow. And I'm not entirely picking these randomly. There is some sort of a system behind it. After a while, you kind of know what works and what doesn't. So you try to pick accordingly. But you also want to try new things, because if you keep sort of fishing in the same pond, you end up with the same effects over and over again. So that's definitely a trap you can fall into, and I think I definitely have fallen into. But yeah, it's important to know what works and what doesn't, and that's all about a little bit of thinking, but mostly just experimenting, because can change so much depending on what's already there and what you're trying to achieve, and the different excuse me, the different layer effects have such a different effect. Yeah, I can I can't really call it anything else, but they're so different. Um, where's my wait, it's getting out of hand. Let's minimize this. This one as well. I think I want this to try this out in probably a couple of different spots. I think it's a good sort of background thingy for this one. And we can maybe even just keep the original picture there. A lot of color dodge might not even be that bad. It's I wish it was darker. So looking for sort of a color dodge but darker. It should we get with overlay. Overlay might be too much, but I think soft light is actually quite nice. Remember, this is not the end result. This is sort of the gateway to the end result. And what I'm looking for here is the ship is still clearly recognizable. The same goes for the bottom here, at least the silhouette here at the top. There's a lot of work to be done. It has to be cut out down here at the bottom stuff, but but for this, I'm kind of trying to keep the original. Just want some texture with the original values intact. And if you switch to the values are quite okay. So it might even be better to just do this with, almost better to do this with the values later on. Because the values are, I think, quite good for this one. Maybe a little bit darker. For this one as well, yeah, you can see there needs to be some separation, and this can be a little bit darker, but that's can be easily done. And then it is just a matter of, do I like the texture that it brings? I really like the fact that it brings a lot of texture down here at the floor. Can potentially use later. I don't care about the ship though. So we're probably gonna change that. I don't really care too much about this area, but I kind of like these gnarly roots, and we can use that somehow later. So that's sort of a little bit of the methodology, and sort of the things that I'm looking for when throwing on textures. It's a little bit more than just, oh, this looks cool. Yes, it plays a huge role. I think it's really important that it looks cool, but it's not everything. So the top and the bottom one, oh no, the middle one and the bottom one are sort of the same setting. So I'm gonna try to see whether we can also get a similar color palette. Not exactly the same. I really like the bright greens here, and the oranges, and we definitely want to keep that for this one. I actually really like this effect that it brings. So maybe we will just modify this, that it kind of fits the perspective a little bit better. Then we might this. Well, I would like it to be more like this. I kind of like the icy look that it gives to this tree here. It's kind of cool, in my opinion. And now we can even manipulate it a little bit further. Thing is, top here is not what I want it to be. And this is just for color, not necessarily. But this streak of orange and all this green stuff here. To try different effect. Maybe we get better stuff. Might not. We might not get better stuff, but not impossible. The soft light is decent, but it's a little bit too dark, in my opinion. Color dodge is quite bright, so we have to figure out a way to get it darker again. But I think we can come up with something. I probably want some more green in there. Kind of want to go for the top one as well and see what we end up with there. Maybe this blue. You don't want to make it vastly different, but I kind of want to make 3 different paintings but similar. That makes sense. I want them to look like they belong to the same universe, so that it's clear that they are in the same universe. But I also want them to make them different enough to sort of stand out. This is actually not too bad. We might have to that. Screen is too bright in my opinion. Goes for all the dodgy stuff. Soft light might work. I think I like soft light better than what did we have? Light and yeah, I don't really like the contrast between the two. This is very bright blue, and then there's this gray mass. With soft light, everything gets a little bit of color. So I like that, and we can even sort of say, you know what, we want this to be a little bit lighter. How about we do that? And we can change the hue. Let's say we think it's a little bit too saturated, or we want the color to be more like green or whatever. I actually like it the way it is right now. So now we have sort of a basic, a real basic color palette for these. At this stage, we could even go and start painting. We don't necessarily need to add more, because more isn't always better. But there are a couple of things I'd like to add, a little bit more detail here and there, and ooh, this plane is big. I'm using a crashed plane. Oh, the texture for the crashed. Maybe it's not. I'm not sure yet whether it's crashed or it's just landed. There. So still not sure about that, but we'll see. We can change that on the fly if we want to. We could paint, especially with the bottom one and the middle one. I think the middle one needs some darker areas and a little bit more contrast here and there, but the top one needs a little bit more color, I think. Let's see, I think overlay is good. Soft light is better because it doesn't really get so bright with the light, and I kind of like the fact that it is a little bit brighter behind the plane. The brush is really laggy, so I hope we can sort of paint all right. And this is just there to add a little bit of texture to the plane or the spaceship. So you have a bunch of layers already. I think this top one can use a little bit more color. Middle one isn't there yet. So let's see. I kind of wanted to do something with the pillars on the top one, right? Or the middle one. So let's see what we can achieve. If I want to use it, I think I need to flip it horizontally and vertically, of course. And we might need to get rid of the couple of them. I have no idea whether this will work on some level. This isn't actually that bad. be a little bit strong in terms of color, but we're to copy it and over here. I think we might be onto something here. Ah, of course, we have more windows than just that we used. So let's shorten it a little bit. Yeah, I think that's quite good. A lot of lag. Brush. Let's save it. And copy that one. There. Yeah, I think we need this. And I'm gonna keep a little bit of this here so we can color pick that color later. The same goes for the ship. I'm gonna keep some of that color there to have something to color pick from. Just it's color for the painting. Probably shouldn't have used a soft brush for the other trees. But I think this is a little bit better. Erasing. Displace it. There we go. Alright. So now it has a little bit more color. Let's check the values. Not sure if I like the one here, but what if I copy this one again? It here. What if I flip this just horizontally? Again. Actually quite good. Right, 1, 2, like this. I think we can do something with that. Yeah, this is live. Think twice, man. Or think twice, man is probably the. It says that it's a live stream, so it's not pre-recorded or anything. So. So yeah, for the middle one we need I'm starting to like the top one more and more. Yeah, I like what we have there so far. I don't think we're gonna need New York. Might use this somewhere. This needs to overall needs to be a little bit darker. Where's that cave picture that we had? Is that this one? Yeah, that's this one. Great. Because I think that's sort of the perfect way to do it. I think I'm gonna flip it horizontally. So we have all the water here, and we have the ship here, so we don't have that much at the bottom, but we can use this as a... I think this is good. It's too light, too light. We don't want it to be lighter, become lighter. It's so light that we... It's definitely due to the color dodge. Or to turn this off, it would be quite dark. Overlay isn't doing it. Soft light might work. Question mark. Get rid of this one. If you change this one to something else. What if we... Yeah, that's probably better. Get rid of the texture. Woo! I really like the color on the ship that we had there. This is actually a lot better now. Now that we... what if we Ctrl F this one more time? Yeah, that's better. It's a little bit high contrast and some stuff might get a little bit lost here, but we can lower the opacity of this layer. I think that's probably our best bet to save some information. Yeah, it needs some work, but I think it can work. We probably need to work on the gate thingy, though. We wanted this to be some gate to the planet, so we need to clear that out and make nice clouds and stuff like that. Now onto the bottom one. Let's put this back to 100%. Throw it on here. And we probably need something stronger than soft light for this. I actually really like the fact that the color dodge gives here at the bottom, but looking for a step for the top. Darken, it's gonna cut it. You might need to flip it vertically, because we're probably not gonna use the bottom anyway, so mostly looking at the top here. Let's erase a bit. I don't really like it on the ship here. But I do like it down at the bottom there, so we kind of want to keep that. So laggy, my brush now. Funny anymore. Not funny. I don't know why. I don't know why it is. Still haven't figured it out. Maybe we need some paint on this, and then we can. Excuse me. Yeah, I think we need some paint on it, and then we can do something with textures again. I'm gonna take a short break. I'm gonna grab a coffee, and after that we will start painting, especially the bottom two, or the middle and the bottom one. I think the top one is actually quite good, quite nice. I quite like it. Could use a little bit more color because now it's a little bit monochromatic, but we'll see if we can bring in some interesting colors, maybe some oranges, something like that. But for now, I'm gonna grab a coffee and I will be right back. And I'm back from break. Well, that was a really short break, but I just needed to quickly grab a coffee. I'm sort of thinking whether I should. You know what? I'm gonna save this as version 1 because I'm gonna collapse all the layers, and that way we sure what this is. That's that guy that can go away. That way we sort of have a clean slate to paint on. All right. Finally, the stuff why we started this, and that's to actually paint. Let's go to 70% opacity. Probably. I'm gonna use the lasso tool quite a bit at first to sort of. I think I want my magnetic lasso tool. Yes, quite good. I think it's probably a lot better with the new versions of Photoshop, but still, for sort of shapes like this, it's actually quite good. You can add your own points bit. So you know what? Go from there and this area. There we go. And now we grab the big soft brush. And you know what? This thing needs a little bit of to lighten up at the top. But the main thing that we need is some uniformity in the background. So okay, use this green, I think. Can we? So it's separated a lot better now. Check this out, and it brings a lot of it tones the rough edges of the texture down quite a bit, and I think that's really that's quite necessary to for this painting. Yeah, I know you want to add the flags to it. It's gonna be a little bit more of a struggle. Get this properly selected. See, we probably need to zoom in to let's see, we can get rid of the flags here because they are not part of the ship, so we don't need them in this selection. We do need this bit though, and we also need this area here. And see that's here. There we go. Let's grab the brush. Sort of try to get it a little bit separated from the rest. You like that green hue? Also like this orange. Stronger. It's okay. And the background definitely needs to be darker. So let's do that right away. And now we have a sort of a better sort of plate to add texture to. Thing is, the flags, we probably should have selected the flags, because they need to be darker than the ship eventually. But we can do that. No problem. There we go. I think I want to make them something like this. So yeah, it can definitely use a little bit of work, this one. Ah, there is one sad thing that I did, which I probably should not have done. Maybe not, maybe I did. I don't, does it really matter? I don't know. As you can see, I merged all the layers. So I also merged the line drawing. There is a way to get it back though. I could open the original painting, the original file, and we still have it there. So if we really need it, because the file size is exactly the same, I could just throw it on here. Exactly the right spot. But I think for now we will do it without actual line drawing. So I'm gonna work on this one because I don't know, I like this one. I hope I can make it good. What's the image size? 2000 pixels wide? Wait, this is not correct. Is it only 2500 pixels high? Right. So let's add a little bit of image size there. It was way too small. So there we go. Let's try to work on this puppy. Brush, it's valiantly lagging, so it's gonna be fun. This one. So good. It's no good. Probably need some separation back here compared to one in the front. So let's add it right now. Go. That may not entirely be in the right spot. Not sure why my Photoshop is lagging so much. The thing I know is that it is really annoying to work with. Any software that's updating or Steam working? Steam is not downloading it. Maybe I should just shut off all of my software that's potentially interfering. I'm gonna open Task Manager real quick here, so we're gonna have a quick blue screen here. Black screen, and then I'm gonna look at my performance graphs here and see whether something is sort of bottlenecking here. Memory usage is just straight always the same, and I know that Photoshop there is allocated more memory to Photoshop than my system is currently using, so that's probably not it, or it somehow can access it. It could be bad. Oops. The GPU is sort of working. It's that might actually be good. It's working at around 35%, so doesn't seem to be GPU related. I think I recalled doing this before. Checking what's causing the issue. Problem is, it's really annoying, and you're sort of focusing so much on the issue that you're not focusing on the painting or anything. You can't really I just can't work like this. That's really bad. Probably should have sketched these guys out a little bit better when I made the original sketch, but always the same issue with me. Look, I'm so far ahead, still putting brush strokes down, and I'm already like 10 seconds. Now it kind of worked. Now, I don't know what it is. My CPU is working decently hard. It's sort of between 40 and 65% usage. It could be that Photoshop has multiple core support, right? Some of this is just bad. I need something for the cockpit, and we need something for the background still. We need some texture there. Gonna like this. And the soft brush. But it's just really annoying. You just, for some reason, you can't focus on the painting anymore, and then just sort of randomly doing stuff, and that's not gonna end well. I want this to be ish. Does that work, or do we need orange? I think we need oranges. We need oranges. And yellow. I love how it looks like green there, but it is actually yellow. Why is my CPU in logic cores. Let's see. No, it's not that a single core is throttling or something. Because all my cores are, all 8 of them are at between 40 and 60%. So it's basically performing perfectly, like the way it is supposed to. For some reason I feel more comfortable working on this one now, I think. So let's try to do that. Let's try to work on this one. It's so annoying. Brush lag. I know it can be I still have game capture on. I mean, that's an issue. In yes. Didn't change anything. I know that there is a certain way of capturing that causes quite a lot of lag in Photoshop. I think it is window capture or something like that. I don't know. But I'm always working on just screen capture, and that seems to do. It always worked fine for me. But for some reason, it hasn't been that great lately. And sometimes it's more noticeable than other times. Why is my... Come on, go back, textures, painting. There we go. It could be the fact that it probably has to do with the file size as well, because I just but I'm working on in one layer, so well, two technically. Maybe I need to cut this up in separate files. I really don't like what I did to the bottom one. I think the bottom stuff is okay, but I don't know what's happening here, but I can fix that with some textures, hopefully. Like the cockpit of that thing either. So let's save this as all. And then we're gonna see if we image crop this. I'm gonna save as where is it? 1. Save. So I want to place it. You know what? I think it's also all the texture files that we open, all the files that we have open in Photoshop. So if we close all the files, it's not even properly closing them. Close. 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 There we go. So we save this as 1, and let's see, does it? A lot better now. So yeah, it basically, it's better. It's not perfect, but it's better. So I think it has to do with the size of the file, and all the stuff that we open in Photoshop. But I'm still, I still want to, I don't know. I want to figure this out at some point, what's causing all the issues. And because now we're working on a single file, and I kind of want to work on them, on all of them. We didn't do too much work, so let's open the old version again. Because if I'm gonna start working on a single file, I'm gonna forget about the others, I think. I think it's quite similar performance with this than it was with the with all the no that with just this single file. We're gonna keep it for now like this. Let's see what we can do. We're gonna build some confidence with this one because I quite like it already, and I don't have to change too much about it. So it's a good way to build your confidence, to have a picture that you find you're comfortable working on. Because I know I can fix the bottom one, and I think it really has potential to be a really great image, but it needs some work to get there. And the struggles with the performance issues just made it so that I couldn't really focus on it. So now we're gonna we gonna fix the performance issues mostly. So I was just going back to sort of getting back into the flow of painting, and once we do that, we can address the other ones. We're not gonna finish them today. I'm gonna work on them on Friday as well. Not sure if I can finish them on Friday. I kind of want to, but I can't guarantee anything. So we might continue with them on Monday. Sort of. I was planning on doing just one painting. Remember? A long time ago, or not a long time ago, some time ago, I decided, you know what, I'm gonna do one painting every week, and here I am doing 3 at once. Way to go. I don't know. They just naturally sort of grew to 3 at a time. Of course, I can sort of, if I want to, I can close the other two and just work on this one alone. So then we basically have the same. Then we can finish this one this week and work on the other two. One next week and the other one the week after that. That would be a solution as well. So then we do one a week. Maybe we'll do that eventually. Sure whether I like this or not. Yeah, I think I am gonna do that actually. I'm gonna crop this. I'm gonna save this as the one again. because we still have like 15 to 20 minutes left, and if I need to spread that time between the three of them, and none of them go anywhere today, really. So let's spend all that time on this one. I think that's better. Problem is, I flipped this back, so now just really follow the line of the tree trunk anymore. But we will fix this. I was thinking about maybe make it into a sort of a building type thing. Could still do that, of course. But we'll see. I want this to be. So we had this crashed. Let's see, we have this. The crashed plane that we used as a sort of a texture base for this puppy here, and you can use sort of the crashed front of it as a little bit of a cockpit. There's a couple of chairs there. They're really rough, but we add some of this brighter green type stuff on it. Some yellow. Because we want some more color here. Not sure yet what, but kind of want to add additional color. So I think it's a little bit boring now. There's these glassy bulbs here. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep the entirety of these lights here, or if I'm gonna change that. I want to keep the yellow in here. Certain places. Bit of orange. I think we can maybe do some orange on the ship. A bit of a rust type color. Spaceships probably don't rust because, well, not in space, because there's no water in space, so not that I know of, at least. But Maybe when they land on planets, and I don't know, maybe it's just the color of a certain material, who knows. You can make up your own story for that. That's the cool thing about being an artist. You can just whatever and just say that it is the way it is. Um, feel like this darkness needs to, this dark gray blue kind of stuff needs to further up. Maybe the lighter blue needs to go further down. Oh, I think it definitely can use a little bit more color. Just this the yellow blob here doesn't cut it. It feels a little bit strange as well. So we need some way to get more color into this thing. Now it, I don't know, just a little bit off. But I will probably think about that between streams, and then on Friday we will sort of decide on the final look and the final colors of this thing. We could play around a little bit with the color balance. Let's see if our painting a lot of sort of achieved something. So yeah, this is definitely really sort of really rough start, and with a bit of paint it actually looks like a sort of a spaceship thingy with a little cockpit. So I'm quite glad with that. I'm gonna merge it so we can check stuff with the color balance. Maybe a little bit more red. Might be quite strong, but if we were to tone down the saturation, we go from this to this. Has sort of not sure. I like that. Kinda do. Sort of a bit of a new color palette for me to explore. Usually you have a lot of greens and or blues. This is sort of different. A bit more grim. I actually kinda like it. Gonna go to 90% opacity with the brush now, just to make it that little bit stronger. Some remnants of the texture of the plane. Get rid of. Fix the edge a little bit by adding a little root. tree here. That is the intake of the ship. Air intake of the engine. This is little guys. We probably need to work on those a little bit as well. Have some sort of a space faring outfit. Maybe we'll add some highlights later to them. To put them a little bit more into the world. So yeah, it's I'm gonna get rid of the blue blob here. Not sure what purpose it served, but so then so I decided to get rid of it. I'm still not entirely happy with the total amount of sort of colors. It's still quite monochromatic. So between now and Friday, I will try to come up with something for it. But overall, I think it's a quite nice nice little picture here. So I'm gonna save it, and I'm gonna finish this on Friday, or sort of finish it as making. We're gonna make it as finished as possible, and then next week we'll work on the. Let's open it up. Next week we'll work on this one, on the middle one, and then in 2 weeks we'll work on the bottom one. And the bottom one can definitely use a lot of work. We might even just start again from scratch from this for the bottom one, because so far I don't really like the changes that I've made to it. So we'll see. But no, don't save the changes. That's okay. But yeah, we're gonna figure out what we can do with this. I kind of want to turn this into sort of a apocalyptic wasteland. So well, maybe we'll probably fix the background a little bit and make the trees more interesting. These ones, and try to figure out some snow kind of type thing, or fallout, or whatever. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back on Friday. If you like it, please consider subscribing to the channel. We'll be live at least 2 times a week, and occasionally there will be a video. I'm planning on making more videos and better videos, but that's gonna take some time. So if you enjoyed this content, make sure to subscribe. Bye!